Good morning folks, it's Margaret here and I'm out in the garden. I've got a day off work today and I hope my shadow's not in the way, but this is another little hedgehog, not a real one of course, and it's just on this piece of log here on the side garden, and look at all the lichen, and in fact there it just looks like little tiny mushrooms as well, but I was absolutely amazed to see this, and I have to just watch my shadow, it doesn't get in the way. So I don't focus very much on this side garden. We've got ferns and lavender and different aspects around here. This is east, so this is the where we get the prevailing winds from. There we go. They always come into their own, don't they? Ferns, love them. And tucked away in that corner is the ginger lily. My husband's cut it down now, and that will get bubble wrapped shortly. You can see the signs of autumn. I'm going to take you into the front garden. Just give you a quick, excuse the noise of the traffic. You can see the signs coming. But this is south facing, so there's my shadow. See if I can keep out of the... So we've still got flowers. The calendula's there. My husband cut the roses down, but they're having a second flurry. We'll have a spell of cold weather and that'll certainly stop them. That's the ace, one of the aces, that's going rapidly now. It's lovely and bright out here. There's some of the antirrhinums. I've shown you this little bed before. That's another prunus there. Oh, I thought I got a spider on my back then. I'm just having a little quick walk round with you. I know you've seen it all before, but it's surprising. Each season brings its own contribution to colour and form in the garden. That's the hypericum, still got some flowers. That's one of the tubs with the some antirrhinums in. And these are just from the one of the little supermarkets. They're just dianthus, and of course a few canes to stop the cat scratching it up. This is the side garden now. Let me just take you this way slowly. This is the tree that we're actually going to move and put this into the garden. Now this one's been here, it is only a small one. I think this is a horse chestnut, something like that anyway. And what I'm going to do this morning is this ground cover, I'm going to lift it out. There are some spring bulbs in here, not daffs or tulips, and I'm going to try and lift those out. This here, this is like a little tiny geranium, and it has beautiful dark pink flowers. I'm going to lift that out. That's just an aqualegia that's seeded, so I shall just be throwing that one away. But I need to clear all this out so Keith can get this tree out of this big barrel, because he wants to put one of the aces in there, and I'll take you around and show you which ones he wants to put in the garden. Now, because we're into October now, as I say, we're taking a holiday in mid-November, and by then everything will be shutting down completely. There won't be much left in the garden. All the leaves will be dropping by then. You can see by that native tree there, the leaves have already started to drop. These are two of the aces, and they've already started to turn that autumn colour. Excuse me, the gravel under my feet. That's the other one. That's stop the cats getting in there. Those are the little box balls. That already, see? You can see a difference. And yet, look at this. We've still got a rose out. That's a scented one as well. Can't believe it. So what's my husband Keith been doing? Let me just show you. This is his next project, and this is an acer, and he's making bowls. He's watched a programme, and he's not doing bonsai, but I suppose it's a take on it. So he's doing that with that. These are two of the aces that he wants to take out of these tubs. You see, this is a trailing one, and this is another big one here. They're supposed to both be trailing now, whether or not this is started there and then the weight of it will push it over. But one of these he wants to put into that big barrel. This one here, that's already shed its leaves. And I'll take you over here. Of course, these are the sunbeds now. They have been inside because we've had a lot of rain, but I've brought them outside today because of the nice sunshine. And they will come in now when it starts to get it was below 10 last night when I got up this morning. It was 7 degrees C. But trying to give them as much sunlight as we can at this moment in time. That's the other big acer. Of course, these videos in the garden will be few and far between now. Look at that. Just growing in. And there must be a little tiny hole there, and it's just set itself in there. And that, of course, that's the Star of David when it comes out in the spring. It's blue. I've lifted that from under the bench. That's full of bulbs. And here we are now. That's the Mahonia there, setting its flower spikes. That's the one of the rhododendrons in bud. This is, let me just go this way because, as I say, I'm in my own light. This is one of the aces Keith's done. Well, what it's done is pruned it, you see. It's pruned it underneath to allow the different layers. So there's the ground cover there, which will get the light now. And this is the other big one. Oops. And this is the huge big acer here. Look at that, all the way up. Keep going. And one of those branches has got to come off, but he's just leaving it for a while because he's not sure which one's coming off yet to balance it out. But you can see what he's doing is making balls, so it'll be architecturally stunning when he's finished. That's the, if I move this back here, there we go. Those are the camellias already setting their buds for spring. This is another camellia setting its buds. This one here, this is a very early flowering clematis. Well, it's we call it a winter flowering clematis, and that's already setting its buds. They're beautiful in January. Oops, let me come out of the light again. That's a nice acer. That's another mahonia there. Still in the shadow, aren't I? Sorry. And one in the corner is actually flowering. So I'll take you down here into the garden. This is of course where we saw Hedgie the other day. Keith said he's already seen another hedgehog, and he doesn't think it's Hedgie, so maybe we've got a little family of them. So I'll take you around this way now. The pond will stay full like this during the winter. And I'll take you back out of the shadows. Sorry, out of the sun into the shadow. That's a sedum. I just love those. Believe it or not, in this container I did have some old soil, and he's just plonked these two acer pieces, hoping they'll root. Now let me just come off the gravel so I don't make too much noise. And that forsythia there, that's dropping its well, it will drop its leaves. It's they're already turning that autumn colour. The shadow comes across light from the side of the house, which is quite cold where I'm stood now, but once you get into the full light and you come round here, it's really lovely. In fact, when I've done this little bit, ooh dear, of moving those plants out of there, I'm going to get the covers out, and I think we'll sit and have a nice cup of tea. So as I say, it's just to take you around while we've got a beautiful sunny day, a beautiful sunny autumn day here in Crewe. That acer there, that big one, that's already set its buds for next spring. That one's on its way out, and the light's diminishing rapidly now here in England, so we have to make the most of these warm days. So I'm glad you could join me today. I know you've seen the garden before, but it's just so nice to come out when it's warm like this and just to relax a bit in the garden. So from me to you, enjoy your gardening, and we'll speak soon. Bye bye now.